probably going to get a little emotional, so please forgive me. I want to tell you about my mom, and I know all of you know her and love her as much as MJ and Mike and I do, and my husband John. But our mother was born on January 15th, 1920, and she was born Gilberta May Van Schaffel. We still don't know why or what Grandma and Grandpa were thinking when they named her Gilberta, but she's affectionately known to all of us as Bert, or Mom. She was a preemie, believe it or not, and for the first few weeks of her life, she lived in the oven, in the drawer of the oven.
That's what made me half-baked.
That's what made her half-baked, as our darling father always used to say, half-baked. Oh, thank you, Baxter. So, our mother, if you know her at all, and I know you all know her so well, that she was always a rebel and a very independent woman. And she was really a feminist long, long, long before that word was even coined. And she would tell you that she's not, but she is. And she always worked. And when she was 18, she left the little town of Newark and went to the big city of Brooklyn, New York to go to nursing school at Kings County Hospital. And she really wanted to be a lawyer. She wanted to go to the University of Rochester to become a lawyer, but it didn't work out. So she became a nurse instead. And when she was in Brooklyn, she met my father, Mike, at a party. And I guess it was love at first sight. I think so. And
for him.
For him. As you all know, my mother is also a card. So they got married in 1941 in Elkton, Maryland. They eloped on October 27th against the wishes of not just her parents, but also my father's parents. So they eloped, and despite what everybody else wanted, and there was something else I want. Oh, and my sister, my mother still hasn't forgiven my sister, if you know my sister at all, who threw away her wedding suit about 20 years ago. You know, you carry a grudge for a really long time. Am I right, Mom?
Oh, I'm over it.
She's over it. For the first few years of their married life, they lived in Brooklyn near my grandparents on 58 First Place, which we all have very fond memories of. They had 4 children. My mom had 4 children. She calls us her M&Ms, as you all know. My brother Mike, my sister Mary Jane, me, Margie Ann, and our late brother Marty. So Mary Jane was born in 46, and Mike in 43, and me in 50, and Marty was born in 1954. In 1949, our dad got a job with Westinghouse, and we moved to Indiana, which is kind of the old Grandma Van Schaffel's family's old area. And I was born in Elkhart, and then we moved to Gary, where we grew up most of our lives. And when we were in Gary, my mom always was very interested and knew the importance of higher education. And she showed us the way. She always worked. First, when she was in Brooklyn, she was an OR nurse, and she did some private duty. And then when we were in Indiana, she worked as a supervisor of nursing, and she went back to school. And first she got her bachelor's degree at DePaul University in Chicago, and then she got her master's degree from the University of Chicago. So we were kind of proud of her. But she was not your typical Leave It to Beaver mother. She was always working, and sometimes she wasn't with us when we needed her, but she was always there when push came to shove. I remember the time in 4th grade when I got hit with a baseball bat, and I woke up and my mother was there in her white uniform. I said, Mom, what are you doing here? But so in 1965 we moved to Philadelphia, and my mother continued to work. First she was the supervisor of nursing, and she eventually became the Dean of Allied Health at Delaware Community College, where she made lots and lots of changes there for the better. So she had nursing and radiology and medical technology and math, I think, right, Mom? Science?
Math and
underneath
chemistry.
her.
Yeah.
And then in 1978, she finally fulfilled her lifelong dream, and she got her doctorate in education. And so she finally, we could call her doctor, but she's still just Mom to us.
Just Bert.
Just Bert, Mom to us. So, and then in the mid-'80s, 1987, 86, she moved back to the central New York so she could be near her brothers and her sister. And she helped my younger brother Marty, and he opened a restaurant, and she helped him with the restaurant and helped to raise his children, Sean and Sarah. And unfortunately, Sarah's not with us this afternoon. So after all that time, when she was 74, in 1994, as you all know, she went back to work. And she worked first for Visiting Nurse Association, where she was at sometimes in the worst neighborhoods in Syracuse. But they all... The slums, really, the slums, you know. And really, they really respected her. They knew when she was coming. They watched out for her. She actually was, even though MJ and Mike and Marty and I were always worried, she was really very safe. Then she worked in a nursing home, and she was the night supervisor for a number of years. And in 1994, she was nominated Central New York Nurse of Distinction. So that's quite an honor. Remember, she was only 74 years old. And we went to Albany for the big celebration. She didn't get it, which I thought was wrong, but anyway. But anyway, it was a pretty proud moment for us to have the Nurse of Distinction for our mom. Finally, she retired at 81. She didn't want to. She still hates not working. She's bored. But anyway, so someday, about a week or so ago, she said to me, and we talk on the phone every few days, and a week or so ago she said to me, I don't know why some days I wake up in the morning and I don't know why I'm still here. And maybe she doesn't know. But Mary Jane and Mike and I know. She's here because she's our matriarch. She is our confidant. She's our cheerleader. She's our confessor. She's our best friend. And above all, she's our beloved mother, who we love and adore and cherish. And we hope she's here for another 10 years.
Oh, make it 15.
Thank you. Happy birthday, Mom. And so, I would all like you to raise your glass. And happy 90th birthday, Mom. Bert.
Thank you.
Best friend.
Congratulations.
Grandma, great-grandma. And I say salud and best of health to all of you. Thank you again for coming.
Salud.
Salud. Cheers. I do want to also say, I neglected to say, just let me, and I know you all want to eat cake and all, but she has 5 gorgeous grandchildren. My nephew Sean and his wife-to-be Summer, and my niece Sarah, who couldn't be with us today, and my 3 daughters, Jenny and her husband Derek, and my daughter Suzanne and her boyfriend Paul, and my youngest daughter Julie and her fiance Tim. And then she has 7 great-grandchildren. Sean's son Michael. Sarah has 3 children, Shantice, Lorene, and Patrick. And my daughter Jenny has 3 children who we were fortunate to have with us tonight, this afternoon. My grandson Baxter, and my granddaughter Paigey, and my grandson Emmett. So, thank you all. Thank you all.